Like winning the lotto, that's how a Lake Ōhau couple have described discovering their pets alive and well days after they were separated by fire. Residents frantically tried to find and bring their pets with them as they fled the embers and flames that swept through the village on Sunday morning. The fire destroyed or damaged at least 40 homes as it burned through more than 5,500 hectares. Days later, the fire remains active with about 17 crews working to manage hotspots and secure the perimeter. Tess Brunton reports from Twizel.
3 generations of Hugh Spear's family and their pets fled flames roaring through Lake Ōhau that awful Sunday morning. They were staying at the barn at Killen B&B, which he and his partner Dwayne own.
Lala, the crazy cat, she was thrown in with Holly and my mum, and they took off, and we got Claude, the ginger cat, and Tay, our dog, and rescued them, and we squished them in the car here. But we just couldn't find Coco, and of course you don't think about a little lamb who's way over there at the other end of the paddock, and the paddock's on fire. You just got to leave her and hope for the best.
It was a terrible morning. Flames strained towards the sky, reaching up to 15 metres.
Not too fast, I know where we're going. It's all right, darlings.
For 3 days, they fretted, not knowing the fate of Gladys, their 1-month-old pet lamb, and their cat Coco. They couldn't access their property on Monday's bus convoy. It was still smouldering. Other residents were given milk bottles in case they came across Gladys the lamb. But on Tuesday night, they were allowed back in with a firefighter escort. Hugh Spears began calling to Gladys through the darkness.
I could hear this little and it was Gladys with a horse in her throat. I just ran in the dark and I could see this little thing flying towards me like a puppy. I just jumped down on my knees, and there she was, and she just like licking me like a puppy. And I had a bottle of milk with me, a bit of milk formula, and she gobbled it down, and I was just overwhelmed with excitement, but I think she was probably more excited to see me.
But he couldn't see Coco.
I could hear Dwayne yelling out, "Coco! Coco!" This is Coco, and I said, "Have you got her?" "Yeah, she's in the car." "Right, let's get out of here." Amazing. Out of the phoenix, like a phoenix out of the ashes, there was 2 of our little fur babies. We're really happy guys. We'd won lotto last night.
With all his pets safe, he and his family returned to the village again today to see the damage in daylight and discover how Gladys had escaped her pen. She had pushed the gate so hard, she broke the latch. On the other side of the fire front, Quailburn sheep and beef farmer Grant Murray tried to save his sheep during the intensity of the fire.
We could see how bad the flames were and all the rest of it. We just started pushing sheep in the same direction the wind was blowing and the same direction the smoke was going, just to get them out as fast as we could.
He lost about 150 to 180 sheep out of around 2,000 on that part of the farm, but says he's lucky to rescue as many as he did. Back in Twizel, Fire and Emergency Incident Controller Rob Hands says other residents are hoping to find their beloved pets.
One of the residents has lost its dog, Milo, and it's been spotted a couple of times. The latest time was about 10 o'clock this morning. Not that enthusiastic to get in the vehicle just yet, but we have got chocolate fish for those that do find them. So.
Away from the animals, insurance assessors have been able to get access to the area, looking at individual properties today. Waitaki District Mayor Gary Kircher says the welfare response will be ongoing.
It's the small things that do make a difference, and when you've got nothing. Talking to a gentleman today who was just chuffed that he had a new pair of underpants on today, so it is about helping with the basic needs at the moment.
A public fund has been set up so people can donate to support the community. Gary Kircher says discussions have already started about where the government's $100,000 relief funding will go.
One of the possibilities is actually the next rates demand, in helping those people, particularly if they haven't got a home anymore. Council can just have a remission, but actually that puts the various accounts into deficit, so rather than doing that, it could potentially be used for that. But there are other more personal needs and so on that we may be looking to help them with.
More than 30 residents accessed their properties today, double the number who went in yesterday. Civil Defence Controller Murray Linwood says work is underway to allow residents to return permanently, but it takes time and they face other challenges.
One of them is contaminants, which we don't know an awful lot about. The second one is the roofing iron that is there. The third one's the integrity of the water. The fourth is the integrity of the sewage system. So until all those things can be ticked off, then we'll look at it.
Rob Hands is optimistic they will have the fire under more control soon.
We've increased our control measures to something like 95% with a 10-metre safe area around the edge. We're hoping by the end of the day that'll be 95 with a 50-metre safe area around the edge, so we don't think it's going to move anywhere. And the only exception to that is any effect within the village itself, which we're still, the investigators are still working through that process.
That'll be welcome news to the residents still waiting with bated breath to hear about their pets, hoping they'll get a reunion just like Gladys and Coco's. In Twizel for Checkpoint, Cortes Brunton, Tane.